Hello class, these are our notes for section 218, representing situations with inequalities notes. This is for our IM Algebra 1. So we're starting out with all these different symbols. So hopefully you recognize some of them. We start out with a less than sign. So let's go ahead and write is less than. And you have to write the is with it. It's really, really important because subtraction, we can talk about like 5 is 3 less than 8, right? So we have to be really careful about having the word is here. So we're showing the difference between a less than sign and subtraction. Next one, when we have the line underneath it, it is less than or equal to. Than or equal to. This one is greater than. And I keep forgetting the word is and I'm adding it in. It's morning and I'm tired. And last one is greater than or equal to. So if I think about what an equal sign is, an equal sign we could just think of as the word is. And so to me, it's like all of these words have that word, all of these different symbols have the word is because they are showing the relationship between two different quantities. So that's very different from operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. There are a lot of different associated words with these. So a less than sign could also mean like fewer than. So sometimes we have to watch for different words. Let's see. Less than or equal to, we could say was at most or no more than. If we have a greater than sign, another word for that is more than. And the last one, greater than or equal to, could also be seen as at least. Or no less than. So I think it's kind of tricky sometimes, the associated words, especially the ones for is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, because those are often confusing for students. So it's really nice to have these on a place where you can check. So scrolling down through here, we're going to go through and do a little bit of translating. So the first one says the difference of, so hopefully you're also looking at your operations are kind of our cheat sheet that we made you. So difference could be subtraction. So when we say difference of, it tells us some things are coming and they're going to tell us what's being subtracted. So difference means I'm subtracting. The of tells me that's what's coming. And then and is where that minus sign goes. So it says twice a number k and 8. So what that means is twice a number k minus 8. That's how we need to write that. So twice means times 2. So I'm going to write 2k minus 8. Again, difference means minus, and the of tells me what I'm going to subtract is coming up. The and is where it's going. And then at the end it says is 12. Next one says the product of. So product means we're multiplying. So I'm going to put a dot there for times. Of means the things that are being multiplied are coming up. And the time sign is going to go where the and is. So I'm multiplying 6 and a number n. So 6 times n. And it says is less than 24. So I could look up to see what a less than symbol looks like. Often for students, something that works well is that a less than, if you hold up your left hand, kind of looks like your left hand, or it looks like an L. So those are two things that help. I could also write this just 6n less than 24. 4 times the sum, so 4 times, and then the sum of, so sum means I'm adding some things. So the of tells me it's coming up, the and is where it goes. So I'm adding a number w and 7, so w plus 7, but then I'm taking that entire sum and I'm multiplying it by 4. So just putting a 4 and multiplying it in the front of that is not enough because I want to do 4 times the entire sum. It's going to have to be in parentheses. is greater than or equal to 10. So if my less than is an L, greater than is going the other direction. 2 more than the product of. So 2 more than just like this, actually, it doesn't have an is in there. So I disagree with the book. I feel like they should have an is here. When we say 2 more than like that, what we really mean is addition. So this means we're taking 2 and we're adding. Product of, so product means we're multiplying. And the times sign of means it's coming. The times sign is going to go where and is. So product of a number q and 9. So 2 plus q times 9, and really that's nicer as 9q. We can reverse the order of addition, is greater than, so here's my greater than symbol, and then 42. I'm going to go ahead and erase this dot now because it's in the way of my answer and it makes it look kind of goofy. Okay, next they're asking for the quotient. So quotient's division, and when they give me the things in order, the first one's going to go on the top of the fraction and the second one on the bottom. So I prefer not to use a division symbol. The fraction's going to kind of do some like parentheses type stuff for you and just make your life easier. So it says the quotient of, so I'm dividing y and a number 5. So I could write y divided by 5, but like I said, I prefer to do fractions. So y divided by 5, and then we have is 15, so equals 15. Next says the area of a rectangle A with a length of 4 meters and a width W meters is no more than 100 square meters. So let's think about how we find area. So we find area by doing base times height or length times width. So if I'm looking at this area, then I'm going to take my 4 and my W, because I have a length of 4 and I have a width of W, and I'm going to have to multiply them because I need to do length times width. So 4 times W is 4W, and then they're saying is no more than. So let's go back up here and look at what is no more than means. And so I love that when Miss Gordon typed this up, she made sure to use is no more than. I'm telling you, this is the key. So that means we're really looking at a less than or equal to. So is no more than means that the biggest it can be is 100. So it could be less than that, it could be equal to that. So less than or equal to 100. On the next one, it says to cover all the expenses of a musical production each week, the number of weekday tickets sold, D, and the number of weekend tickets sold, E, must be greater than 4,000. So it looks like the tickets that we're selling, it doesn't say anything that we have to worry about, like how many days a week or each day or multiplying by 5 for the weekdays or 2 for the weekend. It says nothing about that. It just says our weekday tickets and our weekend tickets sold. So we're going to total those tickets up. When we total something, we add it. So let's go ahead and take D and add E. And together, those must be greater than 4,000. So it doesn't say equal to, it just says greater than 4,000. On 8, the total cost T of buying adult shirts and C child shirts must be less than $150. Adult shirts are $12 each, and children's shirts are $7 each. And I want to put a dollar sign here. I think that really helps the problem. So we're buying T adult shirts, we're buying C child shirts, but altogether we're going to spend less than $150. So if the adult shirts are $12 each, my total cost for adult shirts will be 12 times T. If I bought 2 shirts, I would do 12 times 2. If I bought 3 shirts, I'd do 12 times 3. So it's $12 per shirt. So the per for me means I have to multiply. And then I'm adding these all together because I'm paying for all of them. And the children's shirts are $7 each. So that'll be 7 times C. And altogether this must be less than $150. So this last one's kind of interesting. Elena would like the number of hours she works in a week, H, to be more than 5. So she wants H to be more than 5. So she wants H to be greater than 5, but also no more than 20. So and she wants H to be less than 20. Does she want it to be less than or equal to? So let's think about that. No more than 20. To me, that means she can do exactly 20 or she can do less than that. So let's go ahead and put it our less than or equal to sign in there. So this is one way to write this. This is perfectly fine. The other way is to write this as I call it a sandwich, which is not a real math term, but it really is helpful to students. And what I like is that if I can write a statement with and, well, sandwich has an and in it. So anytime I can write an and between two inequalities, I can use this sandwich instead. And what it involves doing is it means I'm going to take that first inequality, h greater than 5, and I'm going to reverse it. And if I reverse the sides of my inequality, I also have to reverse my inequality sign, because if you think back to when you were in elementary and you learned about alligators eating bigger numbers, the alligator is eating the h in this step, so when I reverse it, the alligator has to still eat the h. And then right after the h, I know, well, h is also less than or equal to 20, so I'm going to write less than or equal to 20. And now I have the letter H sandwiched between the 5 and the 20. And I really like this because when I look at this, it shows me that H is between 5 and 20. I can very clearly see that when I write it using this method. But again, we can only write it when it says and. If your statement is one thing or another thing, then I cannot sandwich it. It's not really just going to be between two things. Then we have to do a little bit more work. So these are our what are we at? We're 218. 218 notes for the day. The big thing, I want to add a couple more here for my equals, is equal to, or just the word is, or is the same as, is at most. I really want to go back and add that. It bugs me that the textbook did not have those in there because I think that's really, really critical. So hopefully these notes will help you out with doing some translating. You've also got that cheat sheet that we gave you with lots of different words like difference or product or sum. So as always, if you have any questions, please make sure to ask.